Okay, so what are we talking about here? What we're talking about is pre-game or pre-performance rituals, and everybody has, their ideas to what it means. It's not just for a pre-game though. I mean, you'll see people go through their rituals in baseball. Who knows what they're going through before they actually step up to the plate. It's probably the easiest place to pay attention to what a pre-performance ritual is. So if you're watching professional sports, you see it all the time. But to get back to what we're talking about here, we're talking about having a goal of setting the table. For if there's an important event coming up, it could be a practice. It could be you should go through your pregame ritual before practice. There should be a pre-practice ritual. Maybe there's a pre-game ritual too. Maybe it's a little bit different. Maybe one's longer, one's shorter. The main thing is you're trying to get yourself into the present moment, like they say, Socrates says in The Peaceful Warrior. And it's really important to make sure that you're focused on the now. So you get all this other stuff, this mind work, this mind chatter out of the way ahead of time. You think about what you're trying to accomplish and what the real goal is. It's important to understand, for starters, one, sequence, consistency, and the belief that this is helping you are the most important three things. So again, the sequence, the order of which it takes place, the consistency, meaning making sure that you do it every time, and then the belief that this works. Because there's been some really really crazy kind of more superstitious pregame things that people have done, but they created a sense of calm, and they integrated some of their six basic human needs in there with it, whether it was connection, contribution, love, consistency, variety, whatever that was in there that connected them to that. Um, it, it works. So again, it's a habit that you form, but it's a pre-event habit. So that habit then becomes a routine or ritual. So let's run through some other stuff here. It's important to make sure that you create um, or you prepare for the event with the appropriate level of energy and focus. So that's really important as well. Meaning, some people need to calm down, some people need to energize, and then what you're doing needs to be appropriate and consistent with trying to commit yourself to actually accomplish that goal. Now, another thing, this is really important. This is maybe one of the most important things, which is number three, is engaging the senses. Engaging the senses are going to hook or root this ritual into your subconscious, into kind of you'll bring on some like embodiment, and you'll make it more easy to call upon the desired response that you're hoping to trigger. So touch, sight, sound, taste, smell, proprioception, the vestibular system activation, and then interoception. So we're not going to get into too much of the last three, but I'm going to give you some examples for those other ones that we talked about, and we're going to go through more specifics than just like the general like overview of the senses. So this should help put things kind of into some sort of spacing or place in your mind, and then give you some sort of memory peg to pull back on. So food. Some people eat particular foods at particular times before events. Alex Ovechkin, who just won a Stanley Cup, um, tough Penguins fan. Anyways, Capitals just won a Stanley Cup, so he eats at Mama Lucia's before games. He usually eats at like 11 a.m. or something. He eats like a chicken parm with noodles and like a cheese bread or something like that. So that's kind of been his kind of like his routine, his ritual for pregame food. Wayne Gretzky, another hockey player with the greatest of all time, he even though he was big on nutrition and all sorts of other stuff, he'd eat I think something like 4 hot dogs with onions and mustard and like a Coke or something like that. It wasn't necessarily the greatest, but that's what he did. Movement. Kelvin Johnson likes to do yoga before he played football. Visualization. Alex Morgan of the U.S. Women's National Team for soccer, she would visualize before all of her games. I believe she did it sometimes before practice too. She liked to eat pancakes. Her post-game thing was ice baths, or is ice baths. Video. Kobe Bryant goes through an insane amount of video in prep, not just before the game, but in the days prior to the game too. And that's how he calms himself, gets prepared and mentally ready. Breathing, Diana Taurasi and Cheryl Swoops, WNBA, like to do like to take naps. So again, like they're probably focusing on the breathing before they're doing that, and then they're taking naps. I know like Joe Rogan does some breathing and stuff like that before he trains, and then also before he does events. Body work, Ray Lewis, he does like, this is not going to sound like body work for a lot of you, but like he's slapping his face and pounding his chest and stuff like that. That's vibration. That's massage. So whether you realize that or not, that's what it is. So it's stimulating and it's causing an effect on the body. And that's something. Clothing and equipment. We've all heard Michael Jordan used to wear his UNC shorts underneath his Chicago Bulls shorts, which is kind of, I don't know, I guess maybe that's superstitious, but also he created comfort with that. So walkthrough, NFL QBs, you've probably even seen this in the movie, the Cool Runnings, when the guy walks through all the turns in the bobsled race before he gets on there, and John Candy tells him, hey, listen, that's what you got to do. Like you're the quarterback of the sled. And so that's one thing. Drilling, techniques, and reps. Jenny Finch, getting your reps before you get your reps. She's number 27, phenomenal softball pitcher. Anyways, she's always been known for, she did a 27-minute warm-up, just like her number 27. She wouldn't touch the game ball prior to that, and then she'd do 27-minute warm-up. Drilling, so superstition, Evgeny Malkin, his thing, even with Sidney Crosby, he said, I'm last on the ice. So you're getting out on the ice first. You're going before me. I'm the last one that's going to be out there. His superstition. There's a lot of other weird superstitions as well, obviously. Journaling, brain dumping. Wade Boggs actually would do something that was funny. He would write the Hebrew word chai onto the dirt before he had an at-bat. The funny thing was he wasn't Jewish, which is interesting. So reading, Curtis Martin, you always read the late great running back for the Panthers, Pittsburgh Panthers in college, and then the New York Jets, was known to read Psalms 91 before he would play. Sportsmanship, LeBron James, it's not sportsmanship, showmanship. The powder, boom, up into the air. So that's another thing that you would see. Let me think here. Oh, mantras. Mantras. A lot of people repeat mantras in their head, like the movie Any Given Sunday. You see the receiver sitting there. He's looking into the mirror and he's like, I'm the greatest receiver that ever lived. I'm the greatest receiver that ever lived. So repeating mantras to calm yourself and to kind of like embolden, that confidence within you. Relaxing conversation. Usain Bolt's known to like just want to kind of shoot the breeze right before the event, because he wants to take his mind off what is going to happen. That's all he needs to do, is just get his mind out of the way. Again, like what they say in the Peaceful Warrior. And then create. AJ Griffin, pitcher for the Oakland Athletics. He likes to play guitar, actual guitar, not just like the air guitar like that. But so again, everybody's got their own rituals, and the most important thing is that you have belief in it, that it's consistent, and then it comes in the same sequence or timing, syntax, whatever you want to call it. So lastly, I bring to you, how is this relevant to you? How can you implement this immediately? Then after you've tested it, how are you going to review it? And when are you going to review it? And then improve on it, and then retest it, and then repeat it, and then so on and so forth. So that's your first assignment. Find out how this whole thing's relevant to you. Create a pre-game ritual or pre-event ritual, pre-performance ritual for yourself. Come up with things that like connect with the senses. It's like maybe if you're going for smell, maybe using like an essential oil on your wrist or something like that. So that sense of smell is really strong. It brings you back to, like you can probably remember like your grandmother's cookies or something, or that freshly cut grass smell at the beginning of lacrosse and baseball season. So smell is, huge. So, make sure that you incorporate that into it. And then go through and then try to optimize it. Try to make it, test it for ecology and efficiency and effectiveness. See if it's going to work for you. See if it's something you can replicate. See if it's something you're going to be able to do over and over and over again. And then try to scale it back as much as you can. Maybe try to make it take less time. It's just like a morning routine, really. Just optimize it the best that you can, and then just make it the best for you. Good luck and have a great day.